Hello, we are the Battery Farm. Welcome back to From the Mic Stand. We're live from MASH in Macclesfield and we're here to play a couple of songs and have some high quality chat. This is a song from our debut EP, Endless Unstoppable Pain, which is out now on all your streaming platforms.
Smiley face emoji.
Smiley face emoji at the end of it. Which is out now on all streaming platforms. It's called A Little Nothing Man. And it goes like this. A little nothing man fighting flames of his failure with his little nothing hands, fighting flames with name of shame and pain, fighting flames that mock his name, fighting them to soothe the pain. With nothing but his skin, with nothing but his a little nothing man foraging forever in a barren broken land. Morsels like shroud dust, spiders lie submerged beneath the sand. Enough to nourish, but not enough to make him whole. Enough to nourish, but not enough to make him whole, and he's always empty. Dogs in fighter jets cannot fly. Dogs in fighter jets cannot fly. What happens to us when we die? 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 Ay, 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 ay. A little nothing man wrestling with the collapse of his vast almighty plan, savaged by the dogs, tattered and little, nothing scrapped, tattered and little, nothing scrapped. He puts the pieces in his pocket with his little nothing hand, puts the pieces in his pocket with his little nothing hand, puts the pieces in his pocket with his little nothing as he puts the pieces in his pocket, so, and he keeps it always. Dogs in fighter jets cannot fly. Dogs in fighter jets cannot fly. What happens to us when we die? 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 With nothing but his skin. With nothing but his skin. With nothing but his skin. With nothing but his.
It's great to have a Battery Farm back in the studio. We're going to have one more live track from them shortly. So, as well as this EP during lockdown, you had some other quite big news. You were signed recently?
Yeah, we signed to Blindside Records.
Yeah.
And like, to me, it's without wanting to sort of be hyperbolic or anything like that.
Yeah.
It's a real dream come true. I've been in bands since I was 12.
Right.
And like on just a personal level, it feels like, and I know it's not universal or anything. It's not
Yeah.
It's not the biggest thing in the world, but what it symbolises is important. It's someone recognising our hard work and willing to take a punt on us and willing to get behind us,
Right.
which we've never really had before.
Kind of what we wanted as well.
Yeah, it's something we've really earned, and it's the culmination of, for me, nearly 16 years, nearly 20 years of work, and like it's the most amazing thing. We're working on with them on some really exciting stuff.
Yeah.
I'm obviously in contact with Joe every day about. It's Joe Lowes, who you might know, who runs the label with a few other people. I'm in contact with Joe every day, discussing sort of ideas and making plans, and so it's going to be a really exciting few months, and a lot of that is down to the fact that the Blindside have gotten behind us in the way they have, and I don't know. I feel like we've earned that, to be honest.
No, yeah,
I'm proud of us for it.
like Ben said, you know, we've been doing it since we were young kids, and to have someone actually invest in it,
Sure. Yeah.
whether that's emotionally or financially or whatever, is just a nice feeling. Like,
It validates it, and it makes you feel like.
Someone cares about
you
it,
feel like
yeah.
you're not shit, you know. So
Yeah,
it-
I suppose it can give you confidence and
Yeah,
move on to
exactly.
bigger stage,
At the very least, it's it gives you that confidence, and at the same time, it's symbolic of the way things have gone for us since we formed this band. Me and Dom have been in bands together for 10 years,
Right.
and we're sort of journeymen in a sense, aren't we?
Yeah.
And
Old-
with this
old
band,
boys.
it's really taken off in a way we wouldn't necessarily have imagined it would. It's been the most successful thing we've ever done, and that's not to say it's a massive deal or anything like that.
but at the same time,
But
you know,
it's-
for us, it's nice that people have cottoned onto it in the way they have. You know?
Yeah, and I think the whole getting signed to a record label is symbolic of that.
And of course, when you play live, there's 2 more members, and it's a lot heavier as well.
Yeah, it is.
Oh yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's a totally different thing live. Like, obviously, what you're getting here is the bare bones of the songs.
Sure.
Paul and Sam, I think we discussed them in more or less the same vein last time, but Paul and Sam really lift the whole thing up massively in a way. And what Lockdown's done is really cement the relationship between the 4 of us. It feels like all 4 of us really believe in it now, because we've had that adversity to cope with, and we've had that sense of missing it to cope with, and it's nice to sort of feel like an absolute unit, which we really do at this point.
Because obviously, when you start a band, whoever's sort of instigated it, it feels like it's their baby initially, and like because we've all sort of kept with it. It feels like everyone's
You've
now,
all
like,
grown into
yeah,
the project.
Yeah, exactly. And Paul and Sam have really grown. Like Paul is a songwriter himself anyway, so he's grown. They've really grown into putting their ideas forward.
Sure.
And we've like, the Black Smoke Rise, which is what we played first, was the first song that we wrote. Like, I wrote the main bulk of it, but then it was the first song that we sort of put together in the practice room.
Yeah.
So there's a big chunk of the song that we played acoustically that is totally different on record, just because the entire band's
Yeah, so we had to sort of improvise around
Add
that.
some input.
But like, so they've really stepped into the creative aspects of it. And obviously on the surface, well, not obviously, but like on the surface, if you follow us, you know that it's me and Dom who are sort of the public front of the band and the public face of the band. But more and more sort of behind the scenes, and more in private settings, it's really becoming a fully 4-pronged unit, which is what we always wanted.
I always wanted, yeah.
And as well as all that, are there any particular bands, past and present, that are currently really inspiring you, and ones that people should follow?
Yeah, I always say Witch Fever. I think I know you're not.
I'm not a massive fan, but that's
we've sort of we say this in more or less every interview, but we were formed on the back of, or we were emboldened and then formed on the back of a sort of wave of really great punk bands that were prevalent, that came about from sort of 2016 to 2018, like bands like I don't know, Sleaford Mods were going for ages before this, but Sleaford Mods came to prominence around 2014. Then you got bands like Idols and Witch Fever and Strange Bones and False Heads, and so all these bands really emboldened us to be able to think that what we were doing and what we were writing at that point, after years of not really writing stuff like that we were writing as the Battery Farm, to think that what we were doing wasn't a joke or a pantomime or anything like that.
And
It was
also,
real.
as well, now that you're saying that, I think it's it emboldened us to not be so ashamed of our actual bass influences, like the Smiths and the Manics, you know, because in the climate today, you know, a lot of people see them bands as like tacky or naff or something that's a bit dated or something that like dads like, and it's like, well, actually those sort of bands, those early sort of 90s bands and 80s bands or whatever, like, they've had a massive influence on us, and why would it be stupid of us to
regardless of what the people within them become. Like, you could talk forever about how dreadful Morrissey is now, but you know, regardless of what the people in them become, the songs remain the same. In terms of sort of new bands, I'm just going to recommend the same people I always recommend, because I think they're brilliant. You've got the Red Stains, I think are really great. The Maitlands, I think, are brilliant. Cold Water Swimmers, Horsemeat, who we've got gotten to know very well. Recently, we were on their podcast not long ago. They're absolutely superb. Def Robot, Def, two Defs in one. Def Robot, and then Def.
Slap Rash.
Slap Rash are absolutely amazing. The scene in Manchester is Zup. How can we forget Zup? Zup, Bones Shake as well.
And
there's a sticker there. The scene in Manchester is vibrant as fuck at the moment, and it's more welcoming and inclusive. Like I've been on this scene for 15 years, you know what I mean, in and out, and it's more inclusive and welcoming and.
Makes for a better balance.
It's more of a community now than it ever has been. There's more kindness on it, and in turn it breeds, like Dom said, better bands and better collaboration and less self-consciousness, and that's the most healthy environment to create for me. And I think there are loads of bands like the ones I just mentioned that are really driving that.
So I guess you're really looking forward to getting back out and playing again.
God,
Visiting some of these venues.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
It's our life, like
Yeah.
you don't. For me, it sort of puts it into perspective how not doing a gig for a year. It's a really sort of set, like important part of your sort of daily life.
Part of your psyche.
Yeah, exactly, part of your psyche. Like, so I was saying, so like, there's in this venue in Mash, there's a venue downstairs, and me and Ben were just sat at a pint before, and I was saying, it smells like a venue. You know, when you go into a venue and you can smell that, there's a specific smell, and it's like, oh god, I need this back in my life.
And then one of the things that really highlighted it for me, which is another thing I was saying to them before, is we did this photography workshop for Trust the Fox and Andy Callan back in September when we had sort of, you know, pre everything going to shit again in the autumn of September 2020. In the autumn of 2020. And we did this photography workshop at the Academy 3, Club Academy, sorry, not Academy 3. It's basically just a lot of photographers taking photographs of us playing a live set with full, with the full set and lights and everything.
Cool,
but the thing that really struck me that I'd never considered was that visual of walking onto the stage and seeing the venue laid out before you. And I hadn't realised that I'd missed that so much, but that was like, whoa, this is amazing. Having not done it for ages, and like we got that little moment where we could walk out onto a stage. Even though, you know, there's only like 10 photographers there, but still just survey the venue in front of you and be like,
even that though, it's like it puts into perspective how much it's embedded in you, in that you can walk out and you know that for the majority of for a lot of the gigs that you've played in your lifetime, from me, mine and Ben's perspective, there's not been that many people there. But even still, when you walk out on the stage and you see something bearing in front of you, think, God, it just fulfills you with something. It fills you with something that it's indescribable. It sounds all cliched and like
no, but it's this power, and I think that's the thing we've missed. And I think, like, our first gig back is the 2nd of July at the Castle Hotel, and I keep putting this on Facebook when I sort of post about it, but it really is going to be this release of, and it will be for everyone who plays a gig first time back, you know, but it'll be this release of pent up, not frustration, but pent up emotion. I think it'll be, I might even cry. Like
there's a song release. Frank Turner just released it quite recently called "The Gathering," and there's a line in it, and he says the first time the beat drops at the bar will be biblical.
Oh,
exactly.
And it will.
Yeah.
You know, I've been watching. This is a little off topic, so I'm apologies for hijacking your show a little bit. But I'm a big wrestling fan, and they started having full crowds at events back there in America. I've been watching AEW put on full shows, and I keep saying to my wife while we're watching it, you know what? Regardless of sort of we're just watching the wrestling or anything like that, this is what life. This is life. This is what life is about. Being with people and experiencing art and experiencing culture and expressing yourself in an environment where full of sort of kindred spirits, you know, and that is life.
Everyone feels it in the same way,
and you realise how powerful a thing it is once it's been missing for so long, and it really is. It's one of the things that makes life worth living, and we're well excited.
So if people do want to keep in touch with you, what's the best way to do that?
We're on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram on @thebatteryfarm. We also have a website now. That's just www.thebatteryfarm.com.
It's got some blogs on it. We need to do some more.
Blogs on it, yeah. I started up a blog, and then I had a baby.
A
It
difficult
was,
thing.
yeah, it was like I've not been able to keep that.
No, you
one,
maintained
so,
it
like,
well. Just in general, we just need to
Yeah,
put some more blogs out.
yeah, it's got blogs, it's got the store on it. We've got the website. We're on @thebatteryfarm on all the social medias apart from
Right.
TikTok, which we're not on yet.
Because we're not 12.
I ain't got. I don't know what to do with that. And then that's pretty much it. Just we're on Spotify obviously as well. Bandcamp.
And it was the Liars Club. Where's that at?
Yes. So we're supporting the Liars Club on the 2nd of July at the Castle Hotel. It's us, Def, who I mentioned earlier, and Chihuahua, who are also brilliant, supporting the Liars Club for Deco Records, 2nd of July at the Castle.
Great. So what are we going to end on tonight?
We are going to end on the final track from
Something that's coming
something
soon.
that we've been working on.
Yeah.
It's called We're at the Top. Fun fact about this song is it's the first song we've done that Dom wrote the entire, so the lyrics and the music for.
Just gonna. Keep
So
my
we're
finger
going to do
off
this
it.
now. Yeah, it's
No,
called
don't.
We're at the Top.
Great.
Okay, let's go.
We're at the top. We're in the dirt. So far from the angels, nowhere near the earth. I think that falling is freedom from our silent sky bound so long, so long, so long. We're at the top. We're in the dirt. No one will notice our fundamental hurt. I want to glide through the seasons past unending demons so long, so long, so
Over and out.